in western Pennsylvania in the 1790s when we were the whiskey capital of the country. There were 4,000 stills in western Pennsylvania. Today, there are 2. Now, at one point in time in the 1790s to the 1800s, western Pennsylvania was famous for our rye whiskey. It's called Monongahela rye. So we make that as a way to steal our heritage back from Kentucky. My name is Meredith Grelli. We are here at Wigle Whiskey in Pittsburgh's Strip District, the historic market district of Pittsburgh. I'm one of the owners of Wigle. We're still, I think, really at the brink, just at the start of the craft distilling really revolution here. Craft distilling really is just getting started. You're going to see more and more distilleries crop up and do interesting things with whiskey, just like you've seen in the past 20 years happen with craft beer making. We get our grains locally and organically. The organic piece of the equation is really important to us, both for the pesticide and herbicide issues, as well as for the distillation. We've worked a lot with Michigan State University. They have an artisan distilling program. And the work that they've done has really shown them that organic heirloom grains just distill better. They taste better without all the other junk put into the mix. This is our soft red winter wheat. We get this from a farmer in Washington County named Nigel Tudor, also organic farmer, who's doing lots of interesting things with heirloom organic grains that were thought to be at one time extinct.
Weatherbury Farm was first settled around 1810. It was actually deeded in Augusta County, Virginia, not Pennsylvania. And we are the 4th family to have owned the farm in that time period. So that's kind of 200 years and only 4 families. The main farm comprises 102 acres that we do own, and then we farm another 75 acres that we rent. Wigle buys several thousand pounds of grain every year from us. Wigle Whiskey gets the Frederick, which is this right here. It's a soft wheat, winter wheat. This is the variety that I'm selling to Wigle Whiskey for their wheat, and now they're buying this instead of a hard wheat because it has lower protein. So here you can see some of the rye. This year we won the Sustainability Award from Pennsylvania Certified Organic, and that was largely due to the innovative thinking and stuff that we're trying, and also the fact that we keep really good records of what we do.
When we talk about distilleries, there are a number of different kinds. There are those that are actually making what they're bottling, and there are those that are just bottling what they buy off the market. So a lot of folks call themselves distilleries, whether they're actually making their products or not. In the distilling world, there's a number of ways you can operate. You can buy a finished product on the market and simply bottle it with your own label and market that and sell that, and then you're truly a marketing company, but much of the spirits that are on shelves today are actually produced that way. The next level down would be if you buy a batch that's almost ready to go but just needs to be distilled. So in the case of whiskey, that might be buying the beer that you then distill. Further down level would be starting with the flour that you need, starting from that point and then creating your beer mash and distilling that. The final level, which is what we're doing, along with about 3 other distilleries in the country, is starting with whole grains, milling them on our site, and doing the entire process from scratch. Very few places in the country or even the world make whiskey anymore that way. One of the dirtiest little secrets in whiskey distilling are these mega whiskey factories that have what are called continuous stills, and they run all the time making whiskey. They aren't running batches because they have these continuous stills. It's still fairly rare to have a batched whiskey. Whiskey has become, in very recent times, thought of I think when you think of whiskey, a lot of people think of an older gentleman on a leather couch smoking a cigar. It's a little bit alienating. It's a little bit intimidating even at times. This is not what whiskey is. This is not the heart of whiskey, in fact. That is a very, very recent phenomenon. When we were the whiskey epicenter of the country here in Western Pennsylvania, we were making whiskey for everyone. This was an everyday kind of drink. Women were drinking whiskey on a regular basis, at meals, at weddings, at funerals. It was not an old man's beverage. And so at Wigle, from the start, it's been very, very important to me that we bring back that accessibility and that socialness and that sense of community to this drink that was historically very integral to whiskey and to whiskey making. So we've tried to reflect that in every ounce of our being, from our branding, from our label, to the space layout and design, to trying to really be a community gathering spot that's welcoming to all. So we've tried to keep that spirit alive.